Here I am at USAL Beach on the Lost Coast in Northern California, and I just wanted to give a little update for 2025 on the condition of the road and the condition of the lagoon and what the camping is like. So as I talk, I'm going to show you some footage of the road coming in. I would say it's actually a little bit worse than it normally is. It varies every year depending on the rains and the ruts and the wetness and all that. Although I did see a woman, I don't recommend this, who drove in with an ex-rental car. It's a Pontiac, whatever, just a small sedan, two-wheel drive, and she made it, although she did break down, not because of the road, but because of the problem with the radiator cooling system. The other thing that varies every year is the lagoon, and it's part of the USAL River, and it comes down and then generally finds its way out to sea, but sometimes the waves build up the sand and close it off, so it doesn't actually drain, and it'll fill up to a point where it eventually drains out, and that's just how it works. And then right now, the sand right over here is low enough so that the waves at high tide actually come over the sand and spill into the lagoon, so the lagoon becomes brackish. But it's a really beautiful area, and I'm going to take a little walk on the beach right now, and I'll show you a little bit of that. But if you want to see more about USAL, including the history and all that, I did make a video on that, and then there's a separate video I did that covers the Candelabra forest, which is a highly recommended hike. This video is just about the conditions today, so let's go check out the lagoon. All right, so we're following the USAL River as we come out of the trees here into the lagoon, and if you look down carefully, you can see a fellow down there on a stand-up paddleboard, and right at that point is the old crossing, but it's a little too deep right now, and this lagoon is wider than it normally is and deeper. There's often some sea otters along the shore, and they were there on this visit as well. And at this end, you can see that the lagoon does not actually flow out to the ocean, and you can see the wet sand where the high tide waves have lapped over the sand, and this is the normal exit for the USAL River, which isn't flowing right now. And here you see the north end of the beach, and it's not very long. The south direction goes for much farther. However, on this hike, I did see some bear scat and some bear tracks, so there are bears that come down to the beach. After that, I walked the 1 mile or so down the south direction to the far end of the beach, and at the end of this beach, there's this beautiful triangular rock, and at that point, you can't really go any farther. And now we're heading back north toward my camping spot on the beach. It's really a beautiful sight with incredible views.